Okay, I have a bunch of these springs, so I'm going to be doing some bed spring crafts in maybe one or two in each video, I think. I have several ideas. So this one I'm going to turn into an angel. And I had this kind of a knob. You'd use this for a head. But to me it just looked just too small. And I had this. It's something I got out of a bag of potpourri. And I don't know what I've done with the bag. Let me show you the bag. Well, this is not the bag it came in. It's just the stuff I picked out of it. That was one style that I kept. Like, they have a little bit of sparkle on them. There's some kind of pods. And then there was this and those. And I just grouped them in a bag and threw them in my stash. And when I was looking for a head for that, I felt like this one here worked. But see, it fits right down in there. So I would have left it this color if it didn't have the glitter on it and some discoloration from being in with the other potpourri, some red potpourri. So I've mixed up a little bit of paint that I wanted, because to me I need to buy some flesh color. I know there's a color I like and I'm just out of it. But anyways, this is a Creamy Peach by Apple Barrel. I put a little of this in there. Then I put just a touch of brown in it, and to tone it down just a little more, I used some Apple Barrel Antique White, and this is the color I come up with. And this didn't have a hole in it. I drilled the hole in it so I could stick that up in there to paint, and then I can just leave it like that to dry. But I'm going to give it a coat of this color that I mixed up, and it's still a little bright to me, but I'm going to go with it. Hopefully it dries a little less colorful. I should have probably put a little more brown in it. You know what? Nobody will probably pay a bit of attention what color this face is. So I'm going to finish painting this and then figure out how should be a relatively fast craft. And I'll figure out what I'm going to use and what I'm going to do. I'll come back and put her, after this is thoroughly dried and good and it's well coated, I'll come back and we'll put a face on it. Alright, I have hopefully everything I need to finish this off, because this one's not going to be hard. I've painted the head and let it dry. And I'm going to go ahead and attach it to this so I can see where to put the eyes and stuff. And I went ahead and drilled a hole back here. I took a little piece of wire for the halo. I'll put that on, all that together after I get this all glued on. I think my glue gun's ready. And I'm also going to use some of this. It's Fabri-Tac. Okay, and then I have the regular glue in the front. That should take care of that. Okay, I'm going to hold it, and I'm just going to use a little rollerball pin. Yeah. I got the hole there, so this is the middle of the face. Just going to make the half circles like that. Let that dry. And I'm going to take just some blush. Make sure I don't have that too dark. put it on her cheeks. Okay. Now I'm wondering if I shouldn't put some of this for her hair. I think I will. This Spanish moss. I don't really like her bald. That's going to be fun to do. Got to hold that there for a little bit, and she'll need a hair trim here in a minute. Okay, a little bit more for the other side. This. Okay. I'd rather put too much on there and cut some off as to not have enough and have to keep doing it. Okay, we'll leave that like that. Well, she doesn't need all that. All right, I need to clean this up before I move on. Now, I'm going to make her wings, and what I've done is install that. I bought this last year at Hobby Lobby. And what I'm doing is just going to fold it in half so I know where the middle's at. And just come over and make my bow. And make them even. And the size I want. Okay, I think maybe that looks about right. So I'll gather it up in the middle. And I have a little piece of wire that I've cut off here. Thin wire. Okay, and I'm doing, where's my needle nose? Take my needle nose, put them together so I can pull it tight. Okay, those are even. That good and tight enough? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have to cut some of that off. May have to cut more off. Okay, I'll put that about right there. Okay, that's on the back of her head. hang on to that right there. Oops. Gotta get it in the middle. Gonna pull my halo up a little bit. I think I stuck it too far down in there. I may have to pull that out and make a bigger one. Okay, what happened here? All right, now I am going to do something up here. Put some kind of a little bow coming down there. And fix her face. And she should be done. Because I want to cover this right in here where that is coming down into there. All right, I have her finished. I just went ahead and just painted over her face. And I didn't like the eyes on it, and I just left it blank. And then I made a larger halo, and I put a little gold rubbing buff on it, the antique gold. Made a twine bow, put some Sweet Annie on it with a little red berry and just a little touch of the rubbing buff, and went around the spring a little bit with the antique gold rubbing buff. And I believe she's finished now. Okay, so I saw this little manger on Pinterest. And I'm going to do my version of it because I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out. But I took some thin board. I don't know. Let's see. As you can see, it's like that, about probably an inch. I don't know how wide that little piece is. Inch and a quarter. They're an inch and a quarter wide. And I cut 4 pieces at 6.5 inches long, each one of them. And then I'm putting them, let me get this out of here. Setting this to the inside on both of them. Like that. Then I took, to make the roof, I put that there. And then I held my other board. Let me move this. I'm trying to get the angle, and I'm not good at that. My husband would do this. He'd laugh at me, but that's okay. I'll get it done. Anyways, I took my piece of board and laid it even with that, like that. And then I marked on this side, right here, and then, of course, up here in the corner. And I took and drew a line from here up to the corner. Now, on this piece, to make another angle, I'll put that there like that. Let me turn this over. Okay. I'll put that like that and draw me a line right here and then cut this board off, and I'm using my scroll saw. Okay, there's my line. Now I'm going to go cut that off. Okay, I changed my sizes. I cut this down. I cut those down to the 4 down to 5.5 inches because I wanted a little smaller, and I wanted to be able to bring these up and kind of, you know, give them an angle also. So all I did, well, hang on just a second. Okay, as you can see, I just went from this corner here and went up to make it straight right here. And then it makes these the opposite of one another. Your ends are the opposite of one another. And now I've got to figure out how to get it all together. I'll just glue it, I'm pretty sure. And I gotta make a little manger, so I found a piece here. It's probably a 1/2 inch thick, and I'm just going to take it and just put some angles on it for the manger, so it will set in here. Okay, now I just brought it in here and I glued my, well, first off, I took the wood, and you can use, you know, like a stain on them, or, you know, some, well, you can paint them whatever color you want to. I chose to paint my water, and where I have water, vinegar, and the steel wool, and it makes the wood turn old looking. And that's what I did. I let that dry, and then I just used some Fabri-Tac. I should have used some wood glue, but it wasn't here handy with me, so I just used this, and I put some rubber bands around it to hold it, which it should be fine, because I am going to use like a cardboard backing on it to put, you know, for the backing. It'll be glued on that. And I also did the same, and this will go up there like that and be glued on, so it should be fine and be pretty sturdy. Then I went and found, you can use a round bead for the little head. I'd put it about right there. I'd fill in that hole with some spackling or something, but I chose to, I had a flat bead, and it's kind of wide, but I'm gonna, as you can see, it's wider than the piece. I'm gonna put more to the back where it's not seen, and I'm just gonna glue that like that, and that'll be the little head. Of course, I'm going to put on some what is that, moss? Yeah, I'm going to use some moss on it too, and then I'm going to glue the little head on there, and then put some moss on it and make it look like a little manger. And then I'll, when this is, I feel like this is a little more dry and I can mess with it, I'm going to trace around it with some cardboard and put it on the back. And then I printed out, well, where'd they go? Okay, I just went online and I found a printout. I just put free printout for Away in a Manger, and I printed out one just on plain copy paper, and then I printed out one on cardstock. I don't really know which one I'm going to use. I'll probably cut them both down and hold it in the back and see what I like. So that's where I'm at so far with this. I'm going to let this dry, find me some cardboard to make a back for this, and then probably tear the edges around on one of these pieces. Okay, I was up where I keep my cardboard. I usually, you know, like cereal boxes and stuff, I keep those, and I'll use them. Well, I found this corrugated sheet that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's a thin cardboard and it's corrugated, so I'm gonna, I think, use that. I'm just gonna lift very carefully, lift this on there, and just trace where I need to cut. Put it on the edge so I only have to cut two sides. Okay, set that aside. Make sure it's right, yeah. There's that, or there's like that. I kind of like the corrugated side, yeah. Now where's my sheet music? Oh, right here. All right, I'll go ahead very carefully because this is not totally dry yet. Let's see which one. Well, if that's on, Okay, I want that where that can be seen, a way in the manger can be seen, and like that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and trace around this where I want it. I'm going to do the same with my white, the white one. Because I don't know which one I'm going to use yet. Now, I'm going to cut these out. If I can see where that one mark is, right there. I don't have to be perfect because I am going to rip this. There's that one. I don't know. Let's see how hard it is. This is to rip. That's pretty. I'll just go ahead and rip this one. That's pretty heavy cardstock. Get that off of there. All right. I'm going to get that started. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Get rid of some of these pieces. That is going to be on that. Okay, and that'll be there. Okay, I'm going to do the white right fast so I can have it to mess with. That's much easier. Okay, there's that one. I think I like the white, but I do have some coffee and a little bit of coffee and some water. I think I'm gonna, I don't want it that dark, but I think I'm gonna spray it. We'll see. If I don't like it, all I have to do is print out another sheet. Let's move this back out of the way. Let's see if it will spray. Yeah. Yeah, let's leave that. Let that dry. Okay, I need some paper towel. I might ink the edges too a little bit when it's dry. Okay, I like that. That's just not as bright white as it was. Still on the white side, but not bright white. All right, I'm going to glue very carefully remove my rubber bands, and I was holding. I hope that's good and glued now. Okay, and take this. That feels good. That's right. Okay, I have that ready to be glued on, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put this down now. And I think I'm just going to use a glue stick on that. But I have to find some ink. I want to kind of ink the edges a little bit. So I'll be back. I'm going to get my glue stick and my ink. They're looking in at me again. All right, I found some distress ink, and I'm using the color Vintage Photo. I'm just going to go around the edge of it. Really want it where it's ripped. Sink in the edges of the paper. Okay, that's good. Put that back in here. I'm pretty sure this will, boy, hold if I don't run out of glue. I'm going to set that down where it's got glue on it. Okay, now wipe that off. All right, put this back down on there so I can make sure it's centered okay. That down on there. That looks good. It doesn't have to be glued straight down on there because this is an indoor decor. All right, now pull this over, turn it over, and let's glue that down. And I am going to use my Fabri-Tac for that. Now I am going to let this dry before I mess with it anymore. I think I'm going to set something to hold this down. Okay, what do I have? Another wood project. I'm going to put that on there. And let it dry for a little bit before I mess with it anymore. Alright, now I went ahead and hot glued the little manger in, and I kind of angled this where I wanted it. Make sure I'm right. Yeah. And I put little marks where I know where to put glue on the corners here, because I'm going to use Fabri-Tac and some hot glue to hold it right off. Now I'll put some hot glue right on the corners. Move that for a minute. Okay, that's where I want it. You know, if you found a little one of those, I know Dollar Tree used to have boxes, little boxes. If you could find one about the right size, all you would have to do is make the roof. Or any kind of little box like this. You could make it like easy. Okay, that should hold. Now I'm going to take some, what did I do with it? I had it. Oh, here it is. Now, Kit Kat, do not jump up here. Take a little bit of my moss, a Spanish moss. This stuff is so messy. No, Kit Kat. Move these out of my way. Putting it on that tray so it won't get all over everywhere. I'm just going to put a little bit down in here like that. And a little bit right there. My stick won't push in. Well, that's going to be dry time I get that in there. There, finally. Ouch. Trim some off if I need to. Stuck to my finger. Okay, I need a little more than that. There we go. And a little bit right in here. Okay. Now, I'm going to go find a star and put up here. And that should be finished. There's how it turned out. Alright, I went and found a star, and I decided to cut a little piece to go right here. I'm just going to hot glue that on. Push it down on there. I think that'll look better than being open. Kit Kat. Now, okay, I found a star. Let's see, I think I'll just hot glue it about right there. These have indentions, so it's kind of hard to get them to hot glue. I'll put that right there. And then I pulled out my rub and buff in antique gold. I'm going to put some of that on the star. Oh, I might have got way too much. I don't know. Don't want to get it on the wood. All right, now I think it's done. I think it is finished. That wasn't too hard. And if you had a little box already, that would make it a lot easier. That turned out really cute. All right, this is my last project. And all I did is took a stem of that, you know, I got that batch of, well, I got a Christmas tree and I cut all the stems off from it. It was a little small one in a pot and it didn't look real well. So I cut it all off and I put it in a baggie, and I've almost went through all of it. I just added a small rusty star at the top. I did taper up. I did take and trim off some of the deal and just kind of tapered it up. And then in each one of the springs, I kind of pull this, because when I started with it, I just pushed it up through the bottom and it was kind of all squished up. So I just took and pulled stems out with this and glued the rusty star to it, and it's finished. Alright guys, that's all for this video. So until the next one, God bless, and we'll see you later.